Welcome to Tirumala Vaibhavam YouTube channel. Today we will dive into another spiritual story. Do subscribe and like the video for more such deep spiritual content.
Welcome! Today we're journeying into the heart of the Bhagavad Gita's 7th chapter. And this is a real turning point. Krishna is about to start revealing his ultimate nature, shifting our whole focus from the path of action to the really profound path of knowledge. He's literally going to pull back the curtain on the fabric of reality itself, the seen, the unseen, all of it, and our connection to the source of everything. So let's begin this journey together. So right out of the gate, Krishna doesn't just give us a simple truth. No, he starts by telling us just how rare this knowledge is. Think about that for a second. This verse is both a warning and an invitation. It's telling us that what we're about to hear is incredibly precious, something that people search for over a lifetime. It's an invitation to really, really listen closely, because we're being offered a peek into a reality that most people just never see. All right, so how do you even begin to wrap your head around the ultimate truth? Well, Krishna starts with a blueprint, a kind of map of the cosmos. He breaks everything down into two fundamental energies. It's like he's saying, if you want to know the architect, you first got to understand the materials he uses to build. So here it is, a map of, everything. Krishna splits it into two categories. On one side, you have what he calls the inferior nature. Think of this as the hardware of existence. It's all the physical stuff, earth, water, fire, and even the more subtle things we use to interact with it, like our mind, our intellect, and our ego. It's the stage. But then, on the other side, you have the superior nature. And this isn't just inert stuff. This is the life force. It's the conscious energy, the software, you could say, that animates the whole show and gives it all meaning. It's the soul within you, me, and every living thing. And this is where it gets really deep. Krishna gives us this simple, absolutely beautiful metaphor to explain how he relates to both of these natures. Just picture a necklace. You see all the individual beads, right? Each one looks separate. Some are the physical elements, others are living souls like us. But what holds them all together? What keeps them from scattering everywhere? It's the thread, the unseen thread running through every single bead. Krishna reveals that he is that thread. Both the material world and the life within it are woven on him. He's the ultimate reality that holds everything together. Now, that brings up a really important question, doesn't it? If it's all that simple, if everything is just strung on a single divine thread, then why don't we see it that way? Why do we feel so separate, so alone sometimes? So now Krishna gets into the big obstacle, the powerful veil that hides this truth from us. He calls it the great delusion, or Maya. Okay, and this part is so crucial. A lot of people hear the word Maya and they immediately think illusion, like it's not real. But that's not what Krishna is saying at all. He makes it clear it is his divine energy. Maya is a real, powerful cosmic force. It's what shapes our whole perception of reality, making us forget about the thread and focus only on the separate little beads. You could say it's the operating system of the material world, and it's designed to create this very convincing experience of separateness that we live in every day. And Krishna does not sugarcoat this. He's very direct about just how powerful this energy is. He says it is very difficult to overcome. Just let that sink in. If Maya is the personal energy of the Supreme, how could any one of us possibly hope to beat it with just our own willpower? It's kind of like a single drop of water trying to fight the entire ocean. And this right here, this is the central problem for anyone on a spiritual path. How do you get past an obstacle that's been created by the very source of everything? So there it is. The question just hangs in the air. If we're trapped inside this energy that is, by definition, almost impossible to overpower, is there any hope? Is there any way to get across this huge, confusing ocean of Maya? And Krishna, he just lets that tension build for a moment before he gives us the answer. But before he gives us the solution, he does something really interesting. He takes a step back and talks about the people who are asking the question in the first place. He explains that we all start our journey toward the divine from different places, with different things pushing us to look for something more. And he basically breaks this down into 4 types of seekers. First, you've got the arta, the distressed. This is anybody who's in pain, in a crisis, and turns to a higher power for help. We've all been there. Then there's the artharthi, the person looking for wealth or success, who prays for a better job or for their family to be okay. Next is the Jigyasu, the curious one. This is the philosopher, the scientist, the person who isn't driven by need, but by this deep desire to just understand why things are the way they are. And finally, you have the Jnani, the wise. This is the seeker who's not looking for anything material. They're just motivated by pure love for the truth. And what's amazing is that Krishna says all 4 of these people are noble. Their reasons might be different, but they've all done the most important thing. They've turned toward the divine. And now, after laying all that groundwork about who's looking for the answer, Krishna finally comes back to that huge question. How do you cross that impossible ocean of Maya? The solution he gives us, it's not about fighting or struggling or trying to outsmart it. The path is something completely different.
The answer is as mind-blowing as it is simple. Surrender. The very same force that was impossible to fight becomes easy to cross for someone who just surrenders. How is that possible? Well, remember, Maya is his energy. There's this great analogy. Think of Maya as a fierce guard dog. You can't fight the dog and win. It's too strong. But if you surrender to the master of the house, what does the master do? He calls off his own dog. It's the same idea. When a soul surrenders to the source, that source just tells its own energy, okay, let them pass. Now, while Krishna accepts everyone who comes to him, he does make a special point here. Of those 4 seekers we talked about, it's the Jnani, the wise one, who is the dearest to him. And the reason is actually really beautiful. The others, they come to him to get something, to get rid of pain, to get success, to get answers. But the Jnani, they come just for the sake of the truth itself, out of love with no other motive. Their devotion is totally unconditional. And as Krishna says, I am very dear to them, and they are very dear to me. And this is a big one. Krishna emphasizes that reaching this state of pure, wise surrender isn't something that happens overnight. It's not a sudden decision. It's the result of spiritual work done over many, many lifetimes. He says that a soul who can actually see the divine as the thread in everything, well, that kind of great soul is incredibly rare. This really frames wisdom not just as an ideal you believe in, but as the absolute peak of spiritual evolution. So as chapter 7 starts to wrap up, you kind of feel like you've been handed the master key to how reality works. But in the classic style of the Gita, the end of one huge answer just opens the door to an even deeper set of questions. And Arjuna, who's standing in for all of us, now sees this whole new territory of knowledge he has to explore. Because in the very last verses, Krishna just drops a whole list of these new, pretty technical terms. He starts talking about Brahman and Adhyatma and Karma, and you can imagine Arjuna's mind just reeling. These aren't just fancy philosophical words. They're like the names for the specific gears and levers inside the cosmic machine. It's the next, deeper layer of that divine blueprint. And that's where we're left, on a total cliffhanger. Arjuna is buzzing with questions. What exactly is Brahman? How does karma really work? And then, most importantly, Krishna connects all of this to the ultimate test of life, what a person thinks about at the moment of death. And those questions, well, they set the entire stage for chapter 8, where our journey into the nature of the absolute will continue.
That was today's story. Please do like, share and subscribe for more such interesting stories. Let's connect with another story. Till then, stay blessed.